Is this thing on?
And we are live.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Spooled Life Live. We're in beautiful Corpus Christi, Texas. Let me make sure I got all my settings good. You know, our internet's good. Our filters are on. Everything is running good. We're live on my phone. We're live on the laptop. We're live in Corpus Christi, right?
Yep.
So the cold front blew in yesterday.
It's a little chilly.
Right, it is a little cold out there. Noe's Artucci is in the house, right? I'm waiting for that little bit warmer weather to cruise in. You know, I'm not much of a cold weather guy. I do like to wear, you know, my jackets when it hits around 70 degrees.
Okay.
I'm a jacket kind of a guy. You know, I get cold. Right?
Jacket and shorts or just
Right.
jacket?
Yeah, you know,
Jacket,
or
jacket,
I
shorts, and
might just
flip-flops.
wear a Sims flannel. Right?
Great.
We have the Sims flannel in stock here at Royce Bait and Tackle to keep you warm.
I got
right?
one right here.
I'm kind of out of breath a little bit. I had to run down the stairs, you know. If you notice, our guest here is, if you don't know who my guest is, I'm going to give you some hints before we bring him on. On call 24/7.
365.
365. Holidays, it don't matter what it is. You could depend on this guy to get you out of the most
Anything you can imagine.
horrific nightmares
They could
that
be.
you could think of, right, while on the water, right. First, give a shout out. We're in beautiful Corpus Christi here at Roy's Bait and Tackle, right? If y'all are local, if you're not local, if you've never visited Corpus Christi, we're the home of the Selena statue that everybody talks about. We're the home of Whataburger. We're the home of the Trade Center. We're the home of the beach
Oh, yeah.
that they're about to lock down. You know, something. We'll talk about that current events, and you know they're thinking about locking it down. Lock the damn thing down. You know what I mean? I mean, I get it, right? I get it to the beach sharker guys. That could be a problem, locking it down. What? Lock the damn thing down. You know, people leaving their trash all over. Lock it down, or
We can't have anything nice.
yeah, we can't have anything nice, man. You know, it's like the whole trout thing. We'll get into that here in a bit.
Yeah.
Sims fishing gear, right? Keeping us nice and warm and snuggly in this wintertime weather we got going on. Carbach Brewery.
Delicious.
What are we drinking today? What am I drinking today? Is Carbach Brewery Especial Cerveza.
That's good.
We're topping it off
It's a good lager.
with Grill Your Ass Off. Salt, right? We're going to drink to the Spooled Life. We're going to drink to Corpus Christi before we have an overflow here. This is to you all, to tuning in on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Forever Last gear, keeping our fish nice and snug,
Snug.
right, in the nets. I'm sure the saltwater legends, each one of those guys has a Forever Last net with them right now, right? Good luck to all of them, and to our new headline sponsor, the Koch Law Firm, keeping us away from those steel bars, right? That is another nightmare of its own if you get into some trouble, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Steel
sometimes,
bars.
hey, just because you have a good lawyer, attorney, right? Sometimes it's not good just to keep you away from those steel bars, but it's good to shorten your time there,
That's true.
right? Give them a shout if you need it. I'm sure we've all needed at some point in time in our lives. Hopefully you haven't, but if you do,
Are you really living life? life. If
Exactly. If you haven't talked to an attorney at least once in your life, you are not living life.
True story.
Man, so let's get started.
Okay.
I hope I didn't forget anybody. But if I did, I'll remember by the time the show's over. If you're local, cruise into the shop. I'll throw you a car box, and you could check the show out live. Live. Like we're live right now with all capital letters. But if you come into the show and sit here, this is like full-blown live. If there's anything more live than all capital letters, it's right now. If you come into Roy's Bait and Tackle.
One of my favorite stores.
This is my favorite. This is like, we were talking about nightmares. This is like a heaven in here. A little bit of everything, for the exception. One thing we do not have here at Roy's Bait and Tackle is one of these. And that brings me to my special guest today, guys. Show number 2 of 2023, we bring in none other than Tow Corpus Christi. Thank you so much, man, for coming on. You were pretty busy this morning, right?
Oh, man, it's been a day. It's been a day, and the season hasn't even started yet.
It hasn't.
No, it's been a busy winter.
Usually wintertime is kind of slow,
Traditionally, it's been slow or slower.
Really?
You know, we don't really have seasons like, you do up north, for example. But, it does slow down a little bit compared to burning and turning and burning in the summertime.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Oh, I grew up in the area. I'm from Rances Pass, Rockport area. Grew up Con Brown Harbor. My dad was he's a Detroit diesel mechanic, and so I grew up wrenching on shrimp boats, and did a lot of fishing in Estes Flats and Rances Bay, and that whole area. Growing up, and after high school, I went in the Marine Corps. Spent 5 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 5 years in the Marine Corps. A year of that in the big sandbox in the Middle East and Iraq, and saw a lot of stuff. Decided it was, I didn't. Personal reasons, I decided to get out. I got a little banged up, and I just didn't want my family to go through, some of the stuff.
Man, well, thank you for your service.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Let's drink to your service. And I hope everybody's got their car box out, or y'all's water, right?
Mm-hmm.
Drink what you wish.
Hydration.
Hydration is key.
That's right.
Man, so growing up, Rockport was all that area, the Estes Flats. What are those other areas down the Lighthouse Lakes?
Lighthouse Lakes.
Where are they as packed as they are now?
What is with
growing up, boat traffic and all that stuff?
No, man. Lighthouse over the last few years has gotten with the upcoming of social media and stuff, and people it's gained a whole lot more traffic. There's a lot of traffic in there now.
Yeah, it's like everybody can afford a boat now. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what happened? Like everybody's saying that everything's going way up high. Prices are skyrocketing, but every post I see is either a new fishing guide, or somebody's buying a new boat, or somebody's selling a boat.
Yeah.
Especially this time of year, everybody's selling their boats right now to get into their new boats. Especially them guides, right?
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about Tow. What is Tow?
So Tow is it's a national franchise, family owned. Was established in 1983 by the Fraunhofer family. When the Coast Guard, it came back, the Coast Guard made a release that they were not going to be assisting boaters anymore unless it was life and death.
I'm going to stop you real quick. If you could speak up into the camera.
Okay. Started in 1983 when the Coast Guard released a statement saying that they were not going to assist boaters anymore for non-distress situations. Life and death, yes, they were going to. They're always going to respond in a situation like that.
Right.
But the breakdowns, people getting stuck. If you own a boat, it's going to happen sooner or later. Especially in saltwater. Saltwater destroys everything that it touches, and the Coast Guard and our first responders were getting overloaded. And so with that release, then the front office decided, hey, this is an opportunity to start something great.
Right.
And that's kind of how it started.
When you say the Coast Guard is not going to help you unless you're an immediate life or death situation, is that for real?
For the most part, yes.
They'll say no, man.
Yeah.
What happens if you lie to them and just say, no, dude, this is for real? But it's not for real.
Fines.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Will they come and say, man, you lied?
Yeah.
See ya.
Well,
or are they going to help you?
The Coast Guard takes that stuff really seriously. They go through a series of questions. And they look at the weather patterns. What's going to happen? Is there a front blowing in? Because something that might not be a immediate perils will turn for the worse in 30 minutes or an hour. If a front blows in, because winds can shift and you can be in a protected area at that given point in time, and then once the wind shifts, chops can be building up from the other side, and it can get really bad quick,
really fast.
So they take all that stuff into account before they just deem that they were going to dispatch or not. And if it's deemed a non-life-threatening scenario, then they will, call their what they call commercial salvage, which is a entity like Tow or Boat US.
I fished a tournament years ago. It was an offshore tournament. It was actually the last offshore tournament that came to Corpus. And it was called the Extreme Kayak Series tournament.
I remember that.
I think it was either that one or the Blue Water Classic, right? And some bad weather came in, and the Coast Guard was circling us, telling us to get off the water. How bad it was going to get.
It's not good.
And it wasn't good. I remember clearly two things. There was a kayak it's got a big mast on it. I forget what it's called. Adventure, something like that. One of those flipped. And I don't know how the hell they got it flipped back over, which is with the mast, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And then, of course, I flipped, right? And then, I kind of got into panic mode. I don't know if it was full-blown panic mode, but it was maybe from a scale from 1 to 10, about an 8 of panic mode, right? Coming in, the Coast Guard just finished, telling us to get back to the shore because of the weather that's rolling in, and we don't know because we're facing the Gulf. Well, we turn around and the bad weather's coming.
You just see that wall. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. So we're like, holy shit. So I reel up all my stuff. I don't break down. I don't cut my leaders off. I just reel it up, put it in the back of the kayak, and I head back in. Well, I flip, right? Long story short, hook to the foot, and every wave that comes back in is pulling my kayak, stretching on that hook, right? And it was like just out of nowhere that an angel appeared from the shore.
Okay.
And saved my life, right? Maybe saved my life. He definitely took the hook out, cut the hook, right? His name's Chris Castro. He cut the hook off, and also Boomy, I forget his last name, but he was there to take pictures of it while everything was going down.
Right.
You know what I mean? Weird situation that you do not want to be in, for sure.
No, man.
Right?
A lot of people underestimate how bad things can get, how quickly.
Yeah.
It's things can go from a really good day to peril in a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
And there's few things as humbling as Mother Nature with the water. If you find yourselves in that situation.
Yeah. If you are a boater, guys, we're gonna get into the details of boating and kayaking and how Tow gets involved. But if you are a boater, I'm sure there's a lot of boaters that are watching right now, and there's quite a few kayakers that want to know if they could even participate in the Tow program. But if you are a boater and do not have Tow, I'm gonna give one away today. This is a 100 $99 value, right? What do we got here?
So if you're, that's the membership that we offer. It's a Tow Gold card. It covers the owner, his family, every boat that you own.
Really?
It's all in one.
Is this like a yearly
It is.
deal? You said this was the gold.
Yeah.
Is there like a silver?
There is not. We don't offer a tiered.
Is there like a
membership.
bronze?
There's not.
Is there like a caliche color?
Negative.
There's no confusion when you go to this website. There's one package to buy,
Correct.
it's this one right here.
That's right. It's going to ask you if you boat in freshwater or if you boat in saltwater. And if you're boating in saltwater, then this is the only option for you. If you boat in freshwater, then we have what's called a lake card.
Okay.
Which is $119 a year. But if I have a lot of members that live, San Antonio, Austin, go boat up there, but they also have boats down here. So a lake card will not cover boats down here on the coast, but a gold card will cover their boats here as well as their boats in other places too.
So this is the one to get.
That's the one to get
For the most coverage, bang for your buck. This is it right here.
That's right. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about kayakers.
Okay.
Right. Can kayakers participate in the Tow program?
No.
No matter what.
So the kayakers, let's see here how to.
Man, just tell us. Just tell these guys the way it is. I forgot to mention that on this show, we're real.
Right.
We're raw and we're live, man.
So
just say, man, the kayakers ain't got enough money to be buying this stuff.
It's not.
It's not that hard.
I remember seeing a question posed when you first made your first post about this here a few weeks ago. One of your followers asked, "Can you tow me out to my spot?"
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So historically, Tow is made for, to get boaters back going, or.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, like our whole goal with Tow is to get a boat back started.
I got you.
And then back to enjoying their day. If a kayaker's calling us with issues, then it's not going to be good. Generally, a kayaker is going to be fatiguing out because we do get calls all the time. Kayaker will.
They probably need some medical attention.
A lot. More than
likely.
There's a lot more to it than just can I get it or not. A lot of times when we get calls for kayakers, is a kayaker has lost his kayak and is blown away, or he's lost his paddle, or there's some issues because historically a kayaker, even if he has a motor on the back, should have a paddle or a way to be able to get back in himself.
Right.
And then if we have to go tow, then all right, how do we go about towing these kayaks without damaging them?
Yeah.
Because especially in the summertime, like we're busy. We got to get from call to call to call.
How many are there of you on your team?
On my team, so we have three full time, and then I have a bunch of reserve guys.
Or is there like a licensed mechanic that cruises with you?
There's a
because you say you traditionally would want to get the boat back on the water. Right.
So we don't wrench on everything ourselves. We go through a series of questions. Whenever a lot of times we can help troubleshoot a boat over the phone. Something simple as the neutral safety switch or the kill switch or something like that. Gasoline, battery issues. If it's a belt on the Verados, we can bring parts, a hub. It's much better for us to just get out there, try to see if we can get the boat going, and every situation is different.
Right. When you get the call, you've had a couple calls this morning, you said already, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you get the call, and I could just imagine the calls you get, but let's say I'm a member of the Tow family, and I call you and I'm like, dude, my motor is not working.
Yep.
What's your first question?
So we go through. So we had that this morning with one of our members, Fishing Legends. Okay, and technology. All these motors now, there's electrical issues.
Yeah.
They're really sensitive to voltage. So we'll go through the series of, is your motor neutral? Do you have the safety switch plugged in? Yes. What is it doing? What was your voltage showing? Is it cranking and no fire? Okay, it's cranking, you have no fire. Have you checked your primer bulb? Did you top your boat off with gas before you left?
Is that a big one?
It is.
Is it?
It is, yeah. Because a lot of now not so much with our tournament guys, because they go, our tournament guys are really mindful of all their stuff. Make sure their boat's topped off before they go.
And you're talking about trout fishing guys, right? Or redfish.
Right now for Legends,
trout fishermen.
fishing
Right.
trout.
That's a different breed
It is.
of boat fishermen.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
I'm nowhere near on that level.
Man, I'm not either. Me and my team have fished a couple of the trout tournaments, the artificial showdown to be one of them, and we were on kayaks.
That's Billy's tournament.
Yeah, Billy McNeil, he's out there right now in
He
the
is
Legends.
out
I want to
there.
say he's like second or first
They
from the
were-
last I checked.
They were at first. Mock, I think,
Yeah.
had a really good trout.
Yeah.
He was around 6 pounds or something.
Yeah,
like that.
around 6 pounds.
But I think they fell off a little bit.
Oh,
from
they
what
did.
Last time I checked.
And well, good luck to
been
them
a couple
guys.
hours since I checked, but
But just being there
mhm.
was just, I wouldn't say uncomfortable, right? But it was like a different breed
Yeah.
of angler.
Yeah.
The people showing up with $100,000, $200,000 boats, and you're just over here in this kayak,
Right.
and they're like, "Man, we don't want to be friends with you,"
Until you beat him.
Exactly.
Until you beat him.
And we did. This was maybe a couple years ago. Well, we didn't beat everybody, but we
No, but
at
still.
least beat all of them except the first two,
Right.
or maybe the first one. I don't remember. It was
There's-
quite a bit ago.
There's something to be said about that, though.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it was a pretty good accomplishment on our end. At what point do you say that it's not a kayak? At what size of a motor? Because I have a motor on my kayak and it's a 3 horsepower.
Mm-hmm.
At what size motor do you say, okay, look, you got a 10 horsepower, we could give you a Tow package?
So that's really a gray area. Is the vessel defined as a kayak, or is the vessel defined as a boat
Or skiff,
or a skiff? Mhm.
right? Like a micro skiff
Mm-hmm.
can use, if you get a micro skiff,
Yeah. My neighbor has a micro skiff.
for example, the solo skiff,
Mm-hmm.
right? We sell them here. I believe we're out of them, but more are on the way, right? Y'all heard it here first. A solo skiff you could put up to, hell, you could put anything you want on anything, I
Right.
guess, but recommended 6 horsepower.
What's reasonable?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
6 horsepower, 10 horsepower micro skiff, not micro kayak. Would that be enough for a Tow
Yes.
package?
Yes, it would.
Why?
Mhm.
Because of the skiff or because of the motor size?
Not necessarily the motor size, just you have a traditional outboard powered motor, and under the fine print of the membership, I'm not, so if somebody has a 2.5 horsepower and they have a membership, I'm not going to go, nah, bro, you're not covered.
Right.
Cough over the money. Like I'm going to say, kayaks are gray areas, but for me here in our area, if you have if you have an outboard on the back of your stuff, okay, yeah, membership's good to go.
Okay, well, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of our kayakers that, have, Christopher Bush is one of them. He's in the house, and he has a 6 horsepower solo skiff.
Yeah, that's good to go.
So that would be ready to go. And that's, at what range do we cover? Your Tow Corpus Christi is from Rockport to
Walkport down to
Olanka?
I go down to Mansfield.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Oh, wow. So,
Yeah.
man, if you're in Corpus and you're fishing the Corpus area,
Yep.
you're 100% covered.
That's right. Yeah. We don't have range limits. Tow doesn't have range limits with as far as we will go before we go. Nah, fam, you're good luck.
Right.
So as long as we have enough fuel to get to you and get you back in or get you back going, it's good. I've gone. The furthest I've gone has been 105 nautical miles to take somebody fuel.
Oh, wow.
That was in the middle of January. It was, the call came in at like 10 p.m. at night. It was a big old 33-foot cat, and he had run aground the day before at the S-turns in Packery. He just buried that thing in the S-turns, and got him undone. Went to 37, fueled up, took off, was trolling all night, and didn't really pay attention to his fuel burn.
Yeah.
He calls the radio, the Coast Guard relays to us, said, "Hey, we got one of your members." Gave me the name. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I saw him yesterday." And so yeah, we loaded up 120 gallons of gas on the deck of one of our boats, and me and one of the captain, pushed out. It was a nice night, at least.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not that nice.
Do you when you get the call at 10 at night, 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, when they say, I'm just trying to grasp what this package is about, right? When they say, "Hey man, I need gas, dude. I'm out of gas. I'm over here in the land cut."
Business hours 9 to 5.
Right.
Just kidding.
Is the gas obviously isn't paid for?
Correct. Yeah.
What's paid for is you getting there.
Yeah, it pays. So the membership doesn't pay for anything that we bring you. If you need a battery, if you need a hub, you just have a hub. If I have one laying around, it's not a big deal.
Jump. Battery jump.
Yeah. But sometimes the guys will want like a full battery, just in case. And so gasoline, you pay for the gas, but you're not paying my boat time or my captain time. So a lot of
that's the package that's paying for it.
Right. Yep.
If you do not have, I'm already just skipping over all these questions. Y'all already know how I get when I have one car buck. If you do not have a membership and I'm in distress, what am I going to have to pay?
So distress is,
I say distress. If I'm in super distress, call the Coast Guard, right?
Coast Guard, yes.
Get some medical attention. If I ran out of gas, if my battery is out, if my motor just does not want to start, what are other things that you've seen?
You run aground.
Run
That
aground.
happens all the time, especially right now. The tide.
Right.
The tide is gone.
You go try to catch redfish and you don't catch anything. Is that one of them?
It happens to me all the time.
Right.
I have to call my captain. It's like, "Hey man, I'm not having a good day. Come on."
That's another one, right? When they call you, obviously it's 24/7, right? 24/7 service. You can always reach Tow via VHF, right? Channel 16.
Channel 16.
Or 24/7 National Dispatch Center, right? The calls that come in, and they're not Tow members.
300 an hour.
300 an hour.
From the time that our boat dispatches to the time that it gets back to where it dispatched from.
Wow.
And then if you're aground, there's a footage charge.
Pulling you out. That is crazy.
Yeah, the bill can add up pretty quick. That's why there's so much value with the membership is,
It's almost better just to leave the damn boat out there.
And wait for the tide. What if the tide doesn't come back up though?
Yeah, that's true too. You better have some water and some snacks.
Yeah.
Right?
Carbuck.
This is it right here, guys. I'm going to give one of these away. I keep on saying we, or more him.
It's good stuff.
Than me, or I, or even we. It's him that's going to give this away, guys. This is going to get you for the boaters or the skiffers, micro skiffers, right? That at least have, no, there's no least. You could have a 2.5 horsepower and be on a skiff and still be able to become a member of the Tow family.
So to clarify on the kayaks, back to the original question, kayak, when I hear the term kayak, I hear just a 12-foot ocean kayak with a paddle.
Right.
That doesn't qualify. But technology is advancing, and things that people are always pushing new stuff and new ideas, and that's what makes things
I don't think anybody kayaks off those anymore. I think most kayakers have transitioned to the Jackson kayak brand.
I have one.
Oh, you do?
I bought it.
It's an antique.
Yeah,
right. I'm just playing. I'm just kidding, guys. Hey, for everybody that doesn't have a Jackson kayak, guys, don't go and delete me. All right, I was just playing. Can sea tow be utilized during tournaments?
Absolutely. Yeah, we got a lot of tournament
Full
guys.
blown right now, the Legend Series. If they call you, and let's say a Legend guy, you know, those trout fishermen,
Yep.
right? Those different breed of anglers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I call you.
Yeah.
Who gets top of the line call?
So we have, I think we have more than one captain available.
Right.
And it comes on a first call, first come, first serve basis, essentially.
No, wait. I'm on a tournament, man. And I got some good fish in the live well. And these are first place trout. And I'm about to win $25,000. I'm going to give you another $1,000 if you put me on top of that micro skiff guy.
What if it was everybody was fishing the tournament?
There you go.
And I have 3 boats out. 3 boats are towing the all 3 tournament guys, and then a 4th tournament guy comes in.
That's true, man. That's
just the way it goes
yeah.
sometimes, The
first come, first serve.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's an emergency situation.
Has that happened already?
What, today?
No, just in general.
No, I mean to have
in a tournament where there's multiple tournament anglers that are fishing the tournament need help.
Yes, that situation right there that was a theoretical situation that hasn't happened to me yet. Not that I can think of. Those tournament guys, a lot of them have a lot of backups and redundant stuff, belts and extra battery and
especially in a tournament of that magnitude, you're pretty prepared. And most of them have seen a problem already, right, and know how to kind of diagnose their own problems, right?
So to touch on tournament stuff, so we had the Elite Solo last week, redfish tournament, and Travis Land, he's one of our longtime members.
That was in Louisiana, though, right?
It was, but I want to go back to the nationwide membership. Travis Land has a membership with CETA Gold Card, and he had some issues. I don't remember.
Travis Land has this one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There you go, guys.
So, and he's a big tournament fisherman.
Right.
And so that covers you nationwide. And one of the, I believe is CETA West Bank, dispatched, got him back going, and he won.
Oh, yeah.
He won. He won both days.
Man,
I don't think he run heaviest red, but he won the overall day 1 and day 2.
You know what was wrong?
I don't.
What happened?
I don't remember. I'll ask him next time I see him.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool just to see
right
what kind of. I'm sure. Like especially during tournament mode, you're like, oh my god.
Right. Yeah.
Why today?
No, I mean I never ask why.
The angler himself is saying, dude,
yeah.
out of all the days, why today, right? And I'm sure, like, dude, I need help right now. That's a perfect example of Mr. Land saying, dude, he knows he's in possible first place, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows
that
if
was
you got
day
good
2.
fish.
He was leading day 1. He knew he had good fish.
Yeah.
And so it was. They got there on scene and got him going, and then he was hightailing it back in that Mamba, scooting, and luckily he was able to make it, and that just shows the value that comes with the CETA membership.
Yeah.
A lot of value.
You know what? We're gonna give one away here in a few minutes. We're gonna give it away at 35 minutes. We're at 33 minutes. Let's talk emergencies. Okay. We spoke briefly about it, to where the Coast Guard gets involved if there's a significant emergency, I guess you could call it, right? If you need medical attention. Do you all ever, or can y'all, if you got the VHF, you hear what's going on, you're like, oh shit, I'm right around the corner.
Yes, we do.
Let me.
There's been numerous times.
Maybe a first responder over here. You know what I mean, kind of deal. Do you all get involved with that?
We do. We do.
Tell us a story about that.
Oh man,
it's a little war story.
Here recently, with one of our, with one of the guys that works here. Actually that wasn't a really good one. They just broke down. But
yeah. What's his name?
Oh man, I don't remember.
Zach.
Zach
is his name.
Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was thinking about buying this Ponga. They punched out of Packery, and it was a pretty sloppy day. And autopilot was having some issues. And if you have autopilot on the Ponga, that's a pretty cool thing. You don't see that very often.
Right.
My Safe Boat has autopilot, and it's a nice tool. It's a really nice tool. But yeah, they had punched out, and it was Packery is 6 to 8s. It was close 6 to 8s, and those things do really good in the chop. And they wound up breaking down, but the owner had taken everything off the boat, even the anchor. So they were getting really close to getting in the breakers and stuff like that. And so yeah, I hopped in the Safe Boat, took off, hauled ass, and I was able to get a line on them before they started getting washed up over the third sandbar. And,
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was pretty.
Have you ever said, "Look, guys, I can't do nothing. It's safer for you all to jump in my boat, and we tackle this once the storm passes."
So, well, I have one similar to that. Okay, a father had taken his son out. He's not from our area. Taking his son out on a stoner, on a Supercat. I believe it was a 19 Supercat. Went out of the Packery, and if y'all don't know the Packery, Packery's nasty. It's narrow and it's shallow, and it's too short. The jetties don't go out far enough, and it's silted in really bad, and so that's what makes it really bad with our wind. And he had gone out, and over the years we have recovered more boats than I can count that have pushed out and gotten capsized, because by the time you realize I'm in trouble, it's too late.
Right.
And they start to turn around, and then as they're turning around, they get caught by a roller, hits the back and flips them. And so I've dispatched on those. I get 911 notifications on my phone, so I know when emergency calls come in. And I've on one call in particular, I dispatched on the fireboat. We work for the fire department too, so I went out on the fireboat.
Oh, really?
At night.
That's not sea tow. That's something else, right?
No,
that you do, or is it sea tow involved as well?
There's been times where we have pushed out in our boat, and the fire department's gone out too, and we work in tandem.
Oh, okay,
depending
cool.
on what's got to happen. But this being this was life and death. The fire department was already dispatching, and I went. One of their captains was not available to run the boat, so I knew. Jumped on them. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So made a phone call, jumped on the boat, and we were able to, between us and Station 13, we were able to pull everybody off safely.
Yeah.
And the one that I was talking about, the father pushed out Packery, and it was really nasty. We got the call, the Mayday call. They were members, and life and death. We didn't. He had his 5-year-old son on board. He said he was a member. As soon as I heard the words, Packery Channel, I knew that it was 8-footers going through the Packery.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't verify the membership. We just went, and myself and 2 of the captains loaded up on our cat, and we were catching air going out of the Packery. It was pretty nasty, and
wow.
We luckily got on. We got to him. We put his son into our boat. It was safer, and asked him how he felt, and he was pretty shaken up. And
I bet.
So I drove his boat in, and told him I can't promise that we're gonna come out of this unscathed, but I'm gonna and it worked out okay.
Man, well, that's pretty cool that y'all just
okay.
say, you know what? No, we're going. Right,
Yeah.
Man. You're not gonna say we're sorry, guys. Hey,
yeah. If
good luck.
If it's a true emergency and we can get there before the Coast Guard or before our first responders, then we do it.
Right.
It's that kind of stuff is not about the money. And there's been plenty of times where people have been thrown out of boats,
Oh, wow.
not wearing their kill switch, and so you got a runaway boat. I don't know. Seems like we get them once a year, just about, and we'll mobilize and one of my captains, my main guy James, he we kind of take turns on who does the Superman maneuver and jumps from one boat to another to get it shut down. That's if we can't throw the line.
Oh, this is what the boat is running.
Yeah.
And just going in circles, or just going straight, or do they typically go in circles?
They typically go in circles.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So when the guy is in the water,
some of them are. Yeah, we
and he's contacted you.
We people out. No. They come in from people calling 911. And so there's a boat looks like it's out of control, and so we've pulled people in that way. First on scene, we've pulled people into the boat to get them away from the prop going over them.
Yeah, for sure.
And then other times they were able to get to a spoil island or get to the shore.
And they're just seeing their boat just cruising around,
just having a good old time.
Man, that is crazy. What happens if they don't have cell phone service? They can't jump back on their boat to the VHF.
Yeah. Well, in that situation, or
dunk
just
their
general.
cell phone. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, hopefully you're close enough to shore.
Or another boat checks them out and cruises over there. Hey, dude. Doing donuts in the water over here.
Hopefully you're not 25 miles out.
Yeah, that's a big deal, dude.
Yeah,
that would be
25 miles
scary.
Out. Yeah, that's I mean, like I'm saying, there's nothing as humbling as that. And
that's why on our second giveaway package, we're going to give one of these kill switch holders. Super important, right?
Yeah.
But first, let's give away this membership.
Let's do it.
What do you think?
I'm ready.
Guys, first person to tell me what year Tow Corpus Christi started.
Did we answer that? Or is it just guessing?
Yeah, I don't know if we forgot. Did you forget?
No, I don't think we said what year. Now, what year maybe?
Let's come up with a different question.
Okay.
What do you think?
Maybe what year Tow International was established.
Did we answer that one too?
The very first Tow. We did answer that one.
All right, first year. I got 83. I got 85.
83.
83.
Mm-hmm.
The man that is the winner is Mr. Chris Castro. And guys, they're coming in so fast right here. I got 1983. That's the winner, right?
That's it.
All right. Guys, don't get mad. Do not get mad. We go by this screen right here just to confirm. We got Chris Castro winning in 1983. Everybody's internet is faster than everybody else's. Some people have dial-up. Some people have the, what is that one? The Starlink.
The Starlink.
Right.
That's fancy stuff.
That's what he probably's got, right? So he wins them all. Congratulations, man. Chris Castro, you are on your way to becoming a Tow.
The newest
member, the newest.
The newest member.
Like if we say it right now, he's the newest member.
That's right.
Of the Tow family.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, Chris Castro. Slide into my DMs and shoot me over your address, and we will get this membership to you. I got one more, though, guys. My next giveaway is going to be this kill switch strap, a Tow face shield, a Tow cap, and a Tow dry bag.
That's good
to keep everything you need nice and dry and crispy. And if you starch your fishing clothes before you get on the water, that'll keep it nice and starched. Right there you have it. Keep it nice and good. And it even comes with a strap. Right? We're going to give that away at 50 minutes. So let's talk about some current events.
All right.
Right? Some of the current events. I seen a post the other day on Facebook that, and it's kind of ironic that we talked about it here earlier. There was some dude that was on his boat. I want to say some lady was recording it while the boat was cruising by where they were fishing. And the guy that was on the boat got stuck on a sandbar, and the guy in the front flew off the boat.
I believe that was in Rockport. That
Was it in
that
Rockport?
was from a couple years ago.
How do you prevent that from happening with the quick kill switch? You don't, right?
I mean, you can't prevent yourself from running aground if you're not
I mean,
paying
you got to
attention.
at least kind of just know your surroundings. Right.
But because it's not a matter of if you're going to run aground, it's when. If you boat on the water enough, I've gotten stuck plenty of times.
Right.
I'm the stuck tester for our boats. When we get new boats in, I push them to their absolute limits, so I know. So I push them in different situations with another boat ready to pull me off, and but because our water here is so much different than a lot of other places in the country. But the most important thing you can do is to wear this in the event that you do get stuck, you do get thrown off, and then something happens to where or if you have one of the vessels that likes to swap ends, some of the modified V's are really bad about swapping ends depending on the situation, and that kill switch will save your life. I've been thrown off of a boat before.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. A prototype boat. I'm not going to name the company. They're not in business anymore. But he asked me to run the boat. He's having some issues with it swapping ends and wanted to know what I thought. And lo and behold, my God, I was like, okay, I'll drive it like a normal boater. Doesn't have a lot of experience, and about 3 minutes into it, the first time I was going to try to make it swap ends, got thrown off.
Wow.
Got thrown off, but
this is not thrown off because you ran aground. This is thrown off because the boat threw you off.
The boat swapped ends on me.
I guess you could call it, right?
Yeah. The boat swapped ends on me.
Wow.
And so they went back to the drawing table, put some some strakes in it.
Yeah.
Just put a little bit harder chine down. Going into details about a business that's not in business anymore.
Man, I mean, there's really that's the only way to find out, though, right?
Yeah.
Test the boat out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's right.
I mean, it's not the boat's fault, right?
Right.
I mean, it's not. It wasn't intentional. It was, hey, man, we got this hole.
Yeah. I mean,
come try it out for us.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
That's scary. That's never happened to me. But a little pro tip that I could give is sit in the back. If you're gonna run aground, sit in the back, right?
Yeah.
Is that the best? Where's the best spot to sit at?
I don't think there's, in my opinion, if you're running aground and if you hit a hard bottom, you're like that video that you speak of. They hit hard bottom, and so you go from 25, 30 miles an hour to nothing.
Yeah.
Like that. So there's a chance if you're sitting in the back behind the helm, you're gonna be landing on the helm.
Yeah.
And I don't want to land on a burn bar. I don't want to hit a burn bar and lose my
lose your
teeth.
face.
Yeah.
Lose your nose.
Just hopefully, I mean, my nose is crooked enough as it is from my days in the Marine Corps. Getting a little rowdy. Hopefully, if you want to ground, it's on a soft bottom. So
what did you do in the Marine Corps, infantry or something?
No, I was not infantry. I was on a forward deployable unit. It was LAD, low altitude air defense. So we have systems that house Stinger anti-air missiles, and when we deployed to Iraq, there was no air threat. So we did convoy security based out of Al-Assad. We went to Ramadi, hit Baghdad, just convoying, and
that's pretty cool, man.
It was
That's impressive.
Some gnarly times, man. Good and terrible.
Do you do any like seminars for like the veterans and all that stuff, like the Heroes on the Water and all that?
So I've done that in the past, and that's a tough one for me, man. Like a lot of vets have their triggers,
right,
and stuff, and I struggle a lot with it. I get flooded with all sorts of memories and stuff, and everybody deals with things like that differently. I have my own way of dealing with it, and when I was trying to figure it out after I got out, I was more involved with that kind of stuff when I had time, and then I found out that was adding to my anxiety and everything else, and so that's I still do when I can, but there's been some stuff that's happened over the years with groups that have started the right way, or so they said, and then wound up embezzling funds and
I could see that
and stuff like that. So it's tough. It's tough.
Oh yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of money involved in that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately, there's a lot of money to sneak out of that stuff and
Right.
keep it for yourself and not
Right.
use it to where it's needed. Right.
I do want to say to all my veterans and first responders and active duty, there's always a discount for memberships.
There you go.
24/7.
Right.
365.
Discount for the first responders and veterans, guys. Right. What is next? It's 2023. What is next for Tow?
Oh man, I change my mind on stuff like weekly, every other week. So the big thing for us that we've been working on for the last 2 years is getting our shop built.
Oh.
So I got some property in Flower Bluff.
Flower Bluff.
I have property in Rockport too.
You got any property in Robstown?
No, man. No, I thought about buying some.
Yeah.
Garrett Rogers had he had a big place for sale that was pretty good price, like $185.
I feel like, how come Robstown? I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but I talked to the CCA people, and I was wondering why the CCA is not held at the Richard Borchard Fairgrounds.
It's a good place. That's a good
Right?
place. I don't know, like maybe
Their answer was because it's so far,
so far.
and because it's Robstown, right? I'm from Robstown. I grew up in Robstown. Fortunately, I grew up in the King's Crossing of Robstown, right?
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Right? Just grew up in Robstown. Outside of Robstown. I was outside of the city limits. But I'm not afraid to say that I was from Robstown.
Yeah, fair
Right?
enough.
A lot of people are, and I'm not. I'm happy. First you must believe
Right.
was our motto in baseball.
Well, I mean, my alma mater is Aransas Pass. I mean,
There you
we
go,
lived-
that's even
I mean,
worse, right?
Aransas, that's just
Yeah,
what I'm
no,
saying.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's my hometown. You
Right.
know, I have
I
a lot-
feel
I
like
have a lot
the
of friends
Richard
there.
Borchard, how come we don't have any tournaments at the Richard Borchard Fairground?
What do you mean by tournaments? There's
Like a live weigh-in tournament.
oh,
You know, all these tournaments are going into live weigh-ins. You know, they got a big tub of redfish over there, right?
that's a pretty big haul, I would say, to try to keep. I mean,
is it?
Most of these guys though?
We're
have,
giving
you know,
$200 a ticket to the CCA this year. That's conservation.
Yeah.
I'm sure we could find a way to keep these redfish alive for the haul.
Sure. Yeah, I get it.
And they're just redfish.
Mm-hmm.
We could dump them there at Labonte Park on the saltwater side of it.
It's true.
That's close. Now it turned into a close haul.
Yeah, you dump them and then go have a few beers, come back in an hour, and they'll still be.
There you go. Cruise over to
still
Big
be
Sam's,
alive.
right?
Yeah.
Or have it at Labonte Park,
Uh-huh.
right?
Okay.
A lot of boat space. You know, you don't have to. I doubt you'd even have to pay for parking at Richard Borchard Fairgrounds.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
Right. We're going to be talking to the CCA people at some point this year, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. You heard it here live. On School
Probably
Live
wouldn't
Live.
be as expensive as the Bank Center.
Man,
either.
I don't know.
Bank Center's probably
There's a lot of anglers that come from the Kingsville,
Mm-hmm.
down to the Valley area,
Yep.
Alice, Freer,
Right.
right? Going up a little bit northern.
Or a whole coastal bend. I mean,
Refugio.
everybody drives in.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We don't just have anglers in Corpus.
That's right.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
Right. Let's give a shout out. Before we give this last package away, let's give a shout out to the Tow team and staff on keeping us safe,
We couldn't do without y'all.
keeping us dry,
Mm.
keeping us on the water.
That's right.
Do not steal that. I better not see that on your next headline.
What, keeping us dry,
Yeah.
keeping us off the water.
What is y'all Tow? Y'all don't have like a logo kind of deal, like a
Oh, like a little saying.
yeah.
Getting back to what matters.
There you go.
Is,
Yeah,
is
getting
one
back
of
to
them.
what
So
matters.
yeah,
I like that one.
That's our whole goal is getting you back to boating
Yeah.
and saving your day essentially.
Yeah. The last thing you want to think of, I said it on the headline, is boat problems. When, guess what? I finally got a day off.
Mm-hmm.
I finally got a day off that the weather is good. And now I'm here floating into oblivion.
It happens though. It happens to everybody, and sometimes there's some anxiety with people. Get embarrassed with sometimes having to call. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's there's should be no anxiety. I hope you don't have anxiety calling. That's what we're here for.
Right.
24/7, 365.
That's a no-brainer, man.
Yeah. It's even if people that are on top of their maintenance all the time. Things happen.
Yeah, you just never know.
With our, I got a lot of guides. And guides run their boats all the time, and they stay on top of their stuff because it makes them money. It's how they put food on the table. And boats break down. A lot of electrical stuff. A lot of electrical issues with our new boats, new motors and stuff like that. But don't hesitate to call. You're not going to upset us. We love getting out there and helping our members.
What do you see the most? Boat problems or motor problems?
Well, that's all in one though. So a lot of it is motor to binnacle related. If you're having a boat problem,
I mean, if the boat sinks, that's a boat problem.
Yeah,
right.
Generally it's motor related or fuel related. So I'll tie that all in: motor, battery, fuel. That's all related into motor issues. Whenever I'm on the phone asking somebody, if you're having boat problems, then you're either stuck, or you're sinking, or you're sunk.
When you have motor problems, what brand of motor are we talking about? Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So that one
We're
was
about to piss everybody off on this thing, right?
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's more brands that we tow than others, but a lot of that goes into rigging too. A lot of these boats are so sensitive to fluctuations in voltage that you can have a really reliable motor, but if it's poorly rigged, or they had some issues where some water intrusion got in somewhere, then it's going to make a reliable motor not reliable.
Right.
So there's a lot of variables that go into
maintenance. Hell, but even if you maintain these boats, top of the line boats, I get my oil changed all the time. I use nothing but the best gas.
Right.
It's just your day, dude. Just your day.
It happens
to have a problem.
There's a couple things that you can do to help.
This is what's going to save you, right?
There's a couple things you can do to remember that you want to do, especially right now when we're getting cold and warm with our air temperatures. Keep your fuel tanks topped off on your boat. You want to keep them topped off because as your temperature gets colder or warmer, goes up and down, that if you have air in your tank, that tank's vented, so you're going to get dense air that's cool in there. As it warms up, it's going to condensate. That air is going to condensate, and you're going to get water in your fuel. That's going to lead to issues. That happens all the time. So keep your boats topped off. That's one of my opinions.
Right.
That's some advice. And then keep your batteries on a trickle charger.
That's a big deal too.
Yeah. And the jump packs these days, the little you can get a lithium
compact
jump pack. They're so small. Keep them on your boat. Keep them
lithium
in your dry
ion batteries.
Keep them in your dry bag.
There you go. Somebody's going to win one here pretty quick. Actually, somebody is going to win one right now.
Let's do it.
Right. The first person to tell me, what could they tell me? And we have another one as well that's going to win a Spoiled Life Live swag packer. Think of a question. This one was for the YouTube channel that we just created. We got all the shows there coming out about, I want to say, twice a week. 2 shows a week are going on to YouTuber, right? I've always talked to the worst about tubers, right? YouTubers. And we're officially YouTubers, right? But I feel that that's the best way to document our shows is to archive them in order.
It's a good tool. It's a good tool for sure.
We got the first 3 up right now, which were from Poco Cedillo from Robstown.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Chris Castro lived near Robstown. And Nacho Daddy Spoons, which was our third show that has passed through Robstown at some point in his life, right? We got those 3 shows on YouTube. Go check them out. It's Spooled Life Live. If somebody has the link, drop it on the comments. It's a hell of a show when we started. Man, from the beginning, we've grown pretty substantially over here on the live. We used to be lowercase live.
We're at over 4,000 followers now, right?
Yeah, we are, man.
Yeah, that's good
4K
stuff.
followers in a little less than 2 years. I want to say
That's pretty good.
which is pretty cool. We got nothing but the best, guys.
Right.
Nothing but the best, nothing but the strongest, and nothing but the...
Sorry.
Nothing
Was I
but
supposed to say something?
the people that float on the water.
Oh, Sea
Right,
Tow.
we're keeping everybody that floating on the
Right.
water. All right, first person to tell me. Did you think of a question?
Yeah, I got one.
What is it? Make it a good one. Make it a good one.
What hours does Cito operate?
What hours does Cito operate? First person. That's a good one. Cannot be a repetitive winner. Cannot be you, Castro. First person to tell me what hours 24/7. I don't know. Can we pick 24?
I don't know. I mean, that's,
Yeah, sorry, Jen. Noe Zartucci, 24/7. Chris Castro won, but we're not going to give it to Chris because no repetitive winners.
Is he like just is his fingers on the keys?
I'm glad
ready
he's
to
on
go?
though. There's a lot of people
Fingers
on
the
right
key,
now,
ready
man.
to go. He's on point.
24/7 is the winner,
Yeah.
and the winner is going to go
Noe.
to Noe Zartucci,
Yeah, it's good
24/7.
Good
Man,
stuff.
24 is a good hour, but
That's right.
that's not the hour we were looking for. 24/7.
Yeah.
Right. Noe Zartucci.
24/7.
What you won was a cap, Cito cap,
It's good stuff.
face buff, kill switch,
Kill switch.
and a dry bag. Haley Fuselier shot the YouTube Spooled Life Live headline on there. Y'all go check it out. Subscribe. Invite your tias, your tios, your cousins, your lovers, your partners.
Partners.
Right,
Yeah.
partners
Domestic
is one now, right? What else? What else you got, man? We missing anything? Where can we find Cito at? Where can we purchase this protection that all boaters need?
It's easy as going to Cito.com.
Cito.com.
You can call 1-800-4CITO. You can purchase it off our Facebook page. There at Tow Corpus Christi. There's a link that forwards to the Gold Card membership directly on our website. You can call my cell phone. You can call us locally.
Right.
We can process the membership over the phone. There's a lot of different ways.
Is Tow Corpus Christi, if I go to the Cito.com and I'm buying a membership, that membership is for Tow Corpus Christi?
Yeah, it's
Membership is a membership.
Membership is a membership. It's all the same. It doesn't matter where you purchase the. If you were to call the corporate number that's in New York, they ask you where your boat. They ask you where you boat and where you normally launch your boat at, and then at that point you purchase the membership. Then the funds come this way, and then we pay a small royalty percentage to Cito International, and your membership funds stay local instead of corporate doesn't keep but a small, very small percentage to cover overhead.
Right.
And that's one of the things I like most.
So this Cito right here will cover from Corpus to California
Yeah.
to Florida
Mm-hmm.
to Maine.
If you go to Puerto Rico, there's a Cito in Puerto Rico too.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
There you guys, this is
All over. Mm-hmm.
a no-brainer, man.
That's right.
Why would you not have Cito, guys? I don't understand that. Have you ever thought about doing, hey guys, and don't be taking my ideas, man. You ever thought about doing a kayak Cito?
So that's out of my as a franchisee, that's kind of out of like we have our annual meetings every year, and so all the franchises all over the country get together, and we talk about stuff.
Right.
And but as far as decision making like that is concerned,
well, bring it up.
Okay,
and
fair enough.
I'm gonna get some royalties off that.
So what would you
know
like
what I mean?
to see with kayaks in particular?
What
would you like to see with kayaks?
Well, what I would like to see is there's a lot of problems. I mean, yeah, you say, okay, well, kayaks have paddles, right? We don't want to cover that because you could either paddle or you could just stand up, right? You're not in immediate.
You can't always stand up though, so you
That's
get
true.
to a certain point to where you're going to be probably getting back into deep water.
Yeah.
And so a lot of that revolves around, can this turn into a dangerous situation?
Yep.
And that's why most of the time if a kayaker's in trouble, then a lot of times ESD2 or CCFD will respond on a fireboat or game wardens.
Because there's a lot of these kayaks, specifically a special brand that you don't buy here. There's a lot of cracking in kayaks.
Oh, okay.
Right? If you get a crack in a kayak and it fills up with water, yeah, I got a paddle. Yeah, I got a 3-horsepower motor on it.
Right.
Yeah, I got 3 damn motors on my kayak.
Right.
Right? But what do I do now?
So
I call the Coast Guard. Hey, guess what? My kayak is coming up with water. Okay, well, where are you at? Right. Okay, well, I'm over here underneath the JFK. Okay, well, guess what? Are you hurt or anything? No.
if
Now
you're
drifting into this channel.
in that situation right there, if your vessel is compromised, I can't speak for the Coast Guard, but it would come through the 911 channels, and they would probably dispatch fire department.
Oh, really?
Because if you're kayak, like some of them, I'm sure I'm not very versed on kayaks, but they're probably chambered, or some of them have foam, or no, they're just hollow.
Some have foam,
Some have
but that's
foam.
more of
That
so
adds
your
weight
top
or-
won't collapse.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's basically an empty hull.
So if you're compromised, then it's a situation that would more than likely get deemed as an emergency.
Will it sink? I doubt it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Will it just be completely engulfed in water to where the kayak goes to the bottom of the ocean? I doubt it. Right? There's going to be some air in there that'll keep the kayak afloat. But my main thing was, I want to call Tow, man.
I mean, you can call. You can always call. So a lot of times fire department dispatches, game wardens dispatch, they are running multiple crews, and a lot of times it's just us on the boat, especially when we're turning and burning. It makes it tough to operate the vessel safely, especially if your conditions are starting to get rough and deteriorate, and so the last thing you want to do is lose control of your vessel while you're trying to pull the kayaker in, and then
Yeah,
get the
that's
kayak
true.
in while not getting yourself into a bad situation.
Right.
There's a lot of variables that go into it with kayaks.
One time I saved somebody, man. We were young. We were out of high school, and this guy's name was George. I forget his last name. If Carlos Gonzalez is on, he could probably tell us his last name. But he got in a bind somewhere around the intake of the power plant here in Corpus.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a cold front coming, and we were in a little John boat, and we went and saved him. And he was in a kayak.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say he was on a tandem kayak, and he was with somebody else. That somebody else was Chris Avalos, I think. I don't really remember. I've slept since then quite a few times.
Right.
Well, we tried to save them. We were the first responders at that time. And he wanted to stay on the kayak, right? And like you said, it was going to flip, man. Those things are, they're not made to
Right.
cover that amount of speed
Right.
on top of the
right.
damn water. Oh, it was a funny sight to see him just jumping all over the place in that kayak, which at the time was funny. And now I'm thinking back, it's kind of still funny, right? But it was pretty dangerous.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why we should leave it to the pros, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ctow.com.
Things happen all the time.
Somebody, the first person, give me a number from 1 through 8. First person, give me just one random number, 1 through 8. CCPD has a dive team. Save the kayaks. Right? Somebody give me a number 7. Here we go. Edwin Vitales gives us number 7. This is going to be the winner for the YouTube of that we dropped on YouTube. Go check out the YouTube, guys. We might just turn in this live into a YouTube live, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, I want to get all the shows on there first before we transition to that. Give a whole bunch of stuff away on YouTube and stuff. I feel like our reach will grow a little bit more, right?
Mm-hmm.
But lucky number 7 is going to win. Lucky number 7 is Colby Stelling is the winner. And I lost my pen, but Colby Stelling, there it is. Colby Stelling, we're going to send you a swag packer to your house. Slide into my DMs, and I will get this shipped out to you ASAP. Man, it's been a hell of a show, dude. I want to thank the sponsors for the show to make this happen. Like I always tell y'all, we're in beautiful Corpus Christi. If you ever visit Corpus Christi, come visit Roy's Baited Tackle. All right, we have the best guys here that could tell you. What I'm looking at right now is on the fly side. We're right down the stairs from the fly area, and a guy, his name's Cole, is teaching a customer how to tie a fly, right? It's almost like anywhere else you would go would be like, hey, guess what? No, I don't want to teach you how to do this. We're going to sell you something, right? We're going to sell you this from over here. There's actually like a little class going on down there. It's Cole, it's Matt, and a lady, new hire. I forget her name. I heard it a little earlier. They're here to help. They're here to help with the kayaks. We got all the best kayaks on the market. We got all the best clothing, specifically Sims fishing gear, right? Is what I choose to wear, right? We all know it's top of the line. We all know when the cold fronts come, we want to wear something to keep us warm and cozy, especially the boaters that get in a bind out there, right? You can't tell. I mean, you have no idea when you're going to get in a bind. But if you are going to get in a bind, make sure you're nice and cozy out there while you wait for Ctow to arrive.
Sims is good for that.
Right? Do not steal that one. Carbach Brewery. What did we drink today? What did I drink today? Cerveza Especial. 4.5 alcohol by volume. 10 IBU, 12 fluid ounces. It is a lager. This is some good stuff. This is good enough stuff that you could drink all night long and still ask your significant other to dance when you hear that cumbia beat.
I like that one.
Come on to the... You know how to dance the cumbia beat?
No. I was talking about the... about this.
I'm not going to make you dance.
You don't want me out there.
Sarge Custom Rods, man. If y'all haven't noticed, Sarge Custom Rods is going full-blown made in America.
I like it.
Right?
I like it.
Those are probably the best rods. If you're going to catch fish, anybody can fish, right? We all know that. You just go on Facebook, and everybody's a fisherman, right? But if you're going to catch fish, and you're going to keep fish, make sure it's on a Sarge Custom Rod, right?
Good products.
Forever Last Incorporated. Everybody in the tournament right now has a Forever Last net. Guarantee it. If they ain't got it on their belt, they got it in their boat. If they ain't got it in their boat, they got it in their garage, right? Ready to go. And Coke Law Firm, right? For those times that we get in trouble, you know. That's another thing. You never know you're going to get in trouble. Some people are going to say, yeah, you do. You know when you're going to get in trouble, but no, you don't.
Not always.
You know, you can be in the wrong place at the wrong time, the Koch Law Firm is here to help. For everything you might get in trouble with, it don't matter what it is, they got you. My man Sean and my girl Chanaz is ready to help out. Their team will do what they need to do. And you know how we're live, we're real, we're raw, and we're live here. They're going to do what it takes to keep you out or to keep you not in as for a long time.
Right.
There you go. What's up, spooled guys? Puro pinche cast and blast is in the house, man. What's up, guys? Spooled up and watching live from the Fort Hood area.
Nice.
Hell yeah, those are another bunch of veterans on the show.
That's right.
Shout out to them. All right, guys. Hey, man, it's been a hell of a show. Are we forgetting anything?
There's a few things.
See, what do you got? Tell us, man.
Oh man, did you catch us on the news here a few weeks ago when they had an active shooter in Flower Bluff?
No.
Yeah, dude. That's that goes.
Oh, the
back,
dude that jumped off the Oso Pier or something, the bridge or something?
Yeah, so it goes back to our 911 note, the little things that pop up on my phone. So I get the notification. I call the chief. That's one of our captains. And I'm like, hey,
oh really?
What's the status? And he goes,
the chief of Corpus?
No. Well, the chief over at ESD too.
Okay, the fire chief.
Mm-hmm. And I know all the I know all the cops too. And I was like, well, just let them know that the airboat's ready to go, because he was isolated himself out on that spoil island. So,
oh really? So they knew where he was at.
Mm-hmm.
They just couldn't get to him.
They couldn't get to him. So after the shots were fired, and the suspect took off. And
wait a minute, shots were fired?
Oh yeah.
What do you mean shots were fired?
So Nueces sheriffs were serving a warrant for I want to say a warrant for failure to appear for bond or something like that,
something
or
minor.
parole violation. They pulled in the Murphys in Flower Bluff, and the suspect drew a weapon.
Oh, wow.
And sheriffs started firing. He took off, went up to the turnaround at Oso, and they performed that little maneuver that they do, and disabled him. He jumped out, ran in the Oso. It's like 50 degrees outside, water's in the 40s, and it's like that's terrible.
Yeah.
Oso's rough, and he gets way out at the end, and they can't get to him, so they needed to get SWAT. So
that's just being silly.
So yeah, man, we mobilized the airboat. I get a police escort, going down, and it was pretty cool. We launched it, put SWAT on the boat.
Where were the CCPD boats at?
So the boats can't get close enough.
Because they're deeper water boats, I guess.
Well, I mean, the CCBD has a skiff, and the Texas Parks has a lot of shallow water stuff. They have airboats.
I know the Nueces County Sheriff's Department has skiffs as well.
They have a V-hull boat,
like a little baby aluminum one, or air.
I must not have saw that.
Yeah, I've seen it.
They have the boat over at Marker 37.
Not that they were chasing me one time, but or I was running from it, but I've seen one before.
So this is not the first time we've worked with CCPD.
So what happened? Did you catch him?
Well, I didn't catch him, but
you at least got the police department
we
close enough.
We put SWAT on the boat, and we went out, and we had the game wardens in their little jet. They had a really cool jet boat that they just got, by the way.
That's what I'm saying too. Where the hell were the game wardens?
They were there, but I had the airboat. So Oso Bay is super muddy. And the last thing you want to do is not get close enough, and then SWAT jump off, and they get stuck in the mud, and it's not really efficient.
Yeah. Have you received a key to Corpus Christi?
I'm waiting on it.
What in the hell, Corpus Christi? I want to say something so bad right now, but I'm not going to.
No, I mean
it's okay, right?
I love it, man. I mean, being in the Marine Corps, that is stuff that I feed off of the adrenaline and stuff like that. And
that's amazing, man.
So we pushed the boat up on the rocks, and SWAT.
And he was armed.
He didn't have anything on his person whenever he got there, but it was textbook by CCPD. SWAT. They did everything by the book, textbook de-escalation, and it worked out really well. And they were able to apprehend the suspect without things getting really bad, and put him on the airboat, brought him back in, and It worked out, you know.
Yeah,
really,
it's never
really
going to work
well.
out in your favor, guys.
Mhm.
We have a couple of CCPD in the house right now, actually, and they do a hell of a job,
They do.
right?
They
I hope
do.
they have an airboat in their budget for 2023,
Yeah.
though.
They can always call me. They always
Right?
they know that they can
That's
call
a
me.
bad
I've-
idea. Do not buy y'all's own.
There's been
Just call
numerous,
CITO.
numerous situations where they've called directly for help. I've helped fire department, CCFD, on numerous times where they were responding to kayakers that were in distress, like way near Rincon, like way back up in, you know, backside in Oasis, back
Yeah,
in
just
those
dirty back
guts,
there.
and you know, you sink in mud.
All the
You know,
dirty, stinky mud over
It's
there. man.
gross. It's so gross. But the tide fell out, and their two little tiller rib boats, you know, they got stuck and stuff. One was my neighbor.
So
So
he was free,
That was really good.
or
So
you
I
charged
put-
him double.
No, I didn't charge. I don't charge first responders. So I put both boats on, you know, the opposite sides of my boat, and it was I got some really good Polaroids of it. It's
Oh, really?
yeah,
That's pretty cool.
It's really good stuff. So yeah, we do a lot. Do what we can for the first responders because they're the ones that keep us safe.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Shout out to the PD,
Mm-hmm.
Corpus Christi PD. Shout out to the Noises County Sheriff's Department. Shout out to the fire department.
Yeah,
Right.
CCFD and ESD number 2.
Who are we missing? Ambulance.
Ambulance.
Shout
yeah.
out to the
Mhm.
ambulance people.
Yeah.
What else? Game wardens.
Game
Right.
wardens.
Shout out to
Mhm.
them dudes. Right.
Yeah, I know all of them.
Right.
I grew up with one of them.
Oh yeah. That you know what? Before we end the show,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about another current event going on right now, which
do it.
is the closure of Pins. Is it Pins, or is
Well,
it
yeah.
Maliki?
Well,
Same
it's the
thing, right?
Padre Island National Seashore.
I wonder where it
controls all of
stops
that.
at the gate, or because I know you could drive past the gate and then there's sticks there.
So as soon as you come in to the pin sign, that's all controlled. So
Okay.
the Malachite is quite a ways down, but coming back up, that's all Penn's property as well.
Right. You know anything about the closure? Why?
I remember seeing the release that came out this past week. Why, I don't know.
Yeah, they were gonna have a meeting or something like that.
They're wanting the public's input
Yeah.
right now for a certain amount of time, and I think it's about a bypass. They want to
Right.
put a bypass around to kind of make the traffic a little bit better.
Yeah, raise the prices. That's what would fix it. Raise the prices and keep somebody at the shack 24/7. Because everybody goes super early or super late. When the dude at the shack is no longer there, they get in for free.
Yeah. So I've been there plenty of times, and I don't think that the traffic is that bad.
Right.
It's not like you're going to right up here near Packery. That's or Port Aransas. Those places are like slam packed. You can't even park a vehicle, and it's Penn's has always been a pleasure.
I don't think they've never said. I don't think Pins is managed by Corpus Christi.
No, that's managed
Right.
on the federal level.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I don't think they've ever had said anything about JP Luby that way in a closure of that area. Because there's obviously money involved. I don't know.
That's way above my pay grade.
Yeah, that's way above Spoiled Life Live. You
Right.
gotta get like on Joe Rogan for something like that.
Right.
Right.
I do a lot of work with Pins on the rescue side of stuff for the sea turtles. Whenever things,
Oh, yeah.
whenever the turtles get stunned, we've done a lot of volunteer stuff like that over the years.
Go and pick them up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do you when you see that? How do you see them? They're just floating on top of the water.
It depends on what phase of stunning.
Okay.
So when it first starts, you'll see them close to the surface, and they're slow. So usually, if you see a turtle in the water, you can come up next to them and see them, and then as soon as they see you, boom, they dive down.
Right.
So when it first starts, they'll still be able to dive down, but it's slower than normal. And then it gets to the point to where they congregate or try to be in the deeper water because it's warmer.
Right.
But it gets to the point to where since they're cold-blooded, they get slower and more lethargic, and then they'll float. Then at that point, once they're floating, it gets to the point to where they can't pick their heads up and breathe anymore.
Yeah.
So they'll drown, or they start washing up on shorelines and stuff.
Yeah.
And And the freeze a couple years ago, that was bad. That was bad. We pulled over 1,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was. Thankfully, had a lot of help.
How can we help? Just contacting Tow Corpus Christi, and man, it's about a freeze. Or do you set up like a post? Hey, any volunteers ready to help?
No, I mean we watched we made posts about it before. When we get fronts blowing in, I'm always checking the water temperature. When it's wintertime, that's like one of my passion projects is the turtle. So I'm always watching the water temperature, and I know now like when we're getting the threshold on when it's going to start, and then I talk with the ARC and the aquarium and pins, and it's a coordinated effort, and then usually it's right after right in the front and the wind's blowing 40 miles an hour, and the wind chill is in the single digits or the teens, and you're out there suffering on the airboat. But it's
worth it.
It's worth it. It's worth it. Mm-hmm.
Man, it's been a hell of a show, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
We're already on overtime right now. Everybody's on overtime just watching the show right now.
Thanks for joining.
Guys, it's been a hell of a show. The flyer for the next show, I want to say will be out at maybe the end of this week or maybe the start of next week. Hell of a show, hell of a YouTube channel now, right?
Yeah.
We're finally tubers. I thank you all very much for tuning in. We will see you all next time. Like I said, you could catch Tow on ctow.com or Facebook, Tow.
Mm-hmm.
Corpus Christi.
Tow Corpus Christi. We post a lot of
Instagram.
I'm on Instagram too.
TikTok.
Yep.
Snapchat.
Yeah, not Snapchat.
No,
I don't know how to do that. But we post a lot of. When I started getting my GoPro stuff, I got some pretty gnarly videos now of capsize recoveries and.
Man, for $199, let's say $200. It's $200, right?
Yeah. The membership covers the standard things, breakdowns and towing, stuff like that. If your boat sinks, it doesn't cover sinking.
Really?
That's an insurance thing. Because there's gonna be a whole lot of damage and stuff.
Right.
And those are.
But there has been some to where I've actually seen yours that you bring the balloons out and stuff, right?
Yeah. We have a full suite of salvage gear with 100,000 plus pounds of available lift.
Right.
Tanks, various diving equipment, and I'll jump in the water and do what I got to do to raise. We had a sunk boat this morning.
Yeah.
So we have the Legends guys, and thankfully the two.
It should have been over by now. 441.
Yeah.
It should be.
The two of our guys, they had some electrical issues this morning. They crossed Corpus Christi Bay, with those north winds, and had some issues once they got into Baffin, but thankfully they were able to get going.
Is that where they were at, Baffin?
I'm not going to name who.
Right.
But yeah, they were in the Baffin area. Whenever they started having issues, but yeah, we had so that normal towing, and then we had a sunk boat at one of the marinas that we were working on this morning.
When you get your calls from the Baffin area, do you ever hit that save button on your chart plotter?
No. Mm-mm. So the app that we have internal Tow will plot. I can run.
That's what I need access to.
I can run a plot on the map about all the calls that we had throughout the year or in a certain date range, and it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Man, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a hell of a show.
I really enjoyed it.
Thank you all for tuning in. We will see you all here in a couple weeks. I want to say 2 more weeks, and we got the next show kicking off. We'll see y'all next time. Y'all be safe. Stay warm. Enjoy y'all's weekend. Spend it with family. Spend it with friends.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget to go subscribe to the YouTube channel.
It's good stuff.
Right.
It's good stuff.
See y'all later.